Okay, in the second part of section 2.1, we're still looking at this algebraically, but now they're going to ask us for outputs. So instead of asking us to plug in a specific value, they want to ask us, they want to give us an output and ask us, can we find an x value that works? For example, the first thing they ask us, is there an x value we can plug in and get 7? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set g of x equals 7. I have our little formula for g of x. So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write 5x plus 1 over 2x plus 3 equals 7. We want to solve this the way we would in an algebra class. So usually I'll just put a 1 down here and cross multiply. I'm going to get 5x plus 1 equals 14x plus 21. I'm going to put all the x's on the right hand side, so I'll subtract 5x from both sides. You get 9x here. I'm going to subtract 21 from both sides to get minus 20 here. And what I want to do then is just divide by 9. So I'm going to get minus 29ths equals x. And we get our first answer. Yay. Now the next one is actually very simple, and I want to do that one right here. They want to know, can we find an x value so that that whole fraction is equal to 0. Well, here we go. I'm going to put in what we know for g of x. I write down that 5x plus 1 over 2x plus 3 equals 0. Now, we can multiply both sides by 2x plus 3. We do have to worry sometimes about that, and so what happens is, in pre-calculus, when we try to set a fraction equal to 0, we're going to be asked to remember the following fact. A fraction is equal to 0 only when the top is equal to 0. It's safer. I'm going to set the top equal to 0 and just see what happens. I'm going to get 5x plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides and divide by 5. I'm going to get minus 1/5. And ta-da! We've solved. And I'm happy about that. The third one's a little more complicated. I might need the whole board for this. I'm not sure. But they didn't ask us for the third one, can we get 7 for an answer, or can we get 0 for an answer? They asked us, can we get 5/2? So what I'm going to do is write down what they're asking. Can we get g of x equal to 5/2? We'll try to go through the same procedure. I know what g of x is, so I put it in. That's 5x plus 1 over 2x plus 3. I want to set that equal to 5/2. I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to get 10x plus 2 equals 10x plus 6. Okay. If I subtract 10x from both sides, I get 2 equals 6, which isn't true. Now, here's the thing. At the very beginning of this problem, we were saying there is an x that I can plug in and get 5/2 for an answer. But if that's true, we get to the conclusion that 2 equals 6, which is nuts, right? And there's no x to solve for. So not only do I get a contradiction, but there's no x to solve for. So here, there's no solution. In chapter 1, that never happened. All right, that finishes this part.